Hey CCP, just a short update on some of the things going on around us. Some of you may have heard that just a couple days ago we were officially in phase one of the reopening sequence that Cuomo laid out in his order not that long ago. So that's a great breakthrough. I think it doesn't mean we'll see a whole lot changed in terms of regular operation around Buffalo, but if you didn't know, churches' worship services reopening is classified by Cuomo in phase four. And so it's a little bit hazy. I think the governor's been a little reticent to, be very, very clear and detailed about what religious groups classify as and what their meetings classify as. So what that means is Sunday worship services are likely going to be a long time coming. It's at the last part of reopening. However, we may be able to, under governor's orders, still have some kinds of small group meetings, maybe open up sooner than that. And so your elders are working together to kind of be discerning about that and to be on top of the news and to be responsible, but also to fulfill our obligation to serve you well. And we know that meeting together is such an important part of our discipleship. And so stay tuned for that. We're going to let you know as soon as we know anything or any decisions can be made. But we're waiting on further information, waiting on further clarification from the governor's office about those things. Now, apart from that, we are looking at continuing to be searching for and trying to identify a place where CCB might be able to land as a permanent facility, a home for us, so that we can fulfill our plan to purchase a building and serve our community and love our neighbors and be on mission together in a place that is uniquely our own. So we're going to be looking for the opportunities to maybe do that in the coming season. And if that's something that you think you might be able to serve in, if you're a member and you think that there might be something you can offer or just labors you can give, we'll be looking for people to help out with those things once it's time. So those are the main things going on. Apart from that, it's I know spiritually for a lot of us it's kind of a strange season. I've heard from a lot of people it's kind of a low point in their spiritual life, and that's understandable. I wanted to encourage you. I think for a lot of us, we found more time and more disruption in our disciplines. It feels very heavy on our conscience. We find, in many days, more minutes, more hours maybe, where it's filled with distraction, perhaps with computer or television, or maybe you're overwhelmed by work. But whatever the case, I think a lot of us have found ourselves to be not doing our personal disciplines as well as we hoped when everything started. We're not reading as much as we wanted to be. Maybe you've been going after the Bible in a year plan and you're way behind. I'm way behind. And perhaps your prayer life is feeling like really just kind of hectic and sort of absent-minded, very distracted in this time. I want to just encourage you. That is, I think, to be expected. I'm constantly thinking about our church and how, in the middle of all this, I really do hope that you remember the gospel. That it's not about your disciplines that commend you to the Lord. It's not what you do for Him, even given all the opportunities, but it's the gospel of Christ. It's what God has done for us. We need to cling on to that now more than ever, especially as I think for a lot of us, we're feeling less productive than we once were. We're not doing work as effectively as we once did. Maybe we're not parenting as effectively as we once did, and it can feel very condemning when we're not at our max capacity. Cling to Jesus. Look to the Lord. It is His provision for you. It is His giving righteousness to you in His Son Jesus. It's by virtue of your faith in Him that we find any place at all before the face of God. And so cling to that, and in your weakness, pray for help. The Lord delights in your presence because of Christ, because of His mediating priestly work for you. He's pleased at every stuttered, stumbling step of His child to come to Him. And so do that. And if you can manage 5 minutes a day, do 5 minutes a day. If you can do 50 minutes a day, do 50 minutes a day. But whatever the case, don't be reluctant to come and approach your God in worship and prayer privately, which is at this point the best we can do. So I hope that would encourage you. The Lord is more generous, patient, and gracious than we ever give him credit for. And that's true now, while we're producing less than perhaps we ever have before. So until the next time, we'll keep you guys updated, and we're continuing to pray for you. Feel free to join us when you are able in all of our various Zoom meetings. That's the best we'll be able to produce until we're able to meet together. So until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and may the grace of God preserve you.